Beloved friends, today I want you to journey with me into the depths of faith, vision, and the boundless power of prayer, for the Lord has placed within each of us a seed of greatness, a vision that is waiting to grow into a tree of blessing not only for ourselves but for the generations to come. And though life may challenge you with mountains of doubt, trials, and setbacks that seem insurmountable, I tell you, the same God who called Abraham from Ur, who parted the Red Sea for Moses, and who raised the dead in the days of the apostles, is alive and ready to move in your life in ways that exceed your imagination. And to walk in this path of faith, you must first learn to listen, to quiet your heart amid the noise of this world, and to hear the whisper of the Spirit, which may come as a thought, a vision in the night, or a persistent prompting that will not let you rest until you respond. And when you respond with obedience, even in small steps, God multiplies your faith, turning the mustard seed within you into a mighty tree. And remember, prayer is not a ritual but a living conversation with the Creator, a dialogue where you pour out your heart, confess your fears, declare your hopes, and speak the promises of God over your life, your family, your work, and your community. And as you do so, you will begin to see miracles unfold in the most ordinary circumstances, for the power of God is not limited by human reasoning or worldly logic. And every challenge you face is an opportunity for your faith to grow stronger, your vision to sharpen, and your character to be refined. And think of the stories of ordinary men and women who dared to believe. From Joseph in Egypt who rose from a pit to the palace, to David who faced Goliath armed only with faith and a sling, to the early apostles who carried the message of Christ across dangerous lands. And each one of these examples teaches us that nothing in this life is impossible for those who align their will with God's, speak His word, and refuse to be moved by fear, worry, or doubt, for every obstacle is a stepping stone to greater glory, and every setback is a lesson in perseverance. And as you meditate day and night on the promises of God, saturate your thoughts with His word, and act boldly in obedience, your life will become a living testament to the supernatural, a beacon of hope to the weary, a fountain of inspiration to the lost, and the dreams God has placed in your heart will not only come to pass but will overflow to touch the lives of countless others. And so I urge you, do not delay, do not compromise, do not shrink back from what God has called you to, for He who began a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. And as you continue on this journey of faith, let your heart be filled with gratitude for every answered prayer, every divine intervention, every small victory, for these are the signs of God's constant presence. And speak life, speak blessings, pray without ceasing, expect miracles, give generously, love unconditionally, and walk daily in the assurance that nothing is too hard for your God. And as you do this, your vision will expand, your faith will deepen, your spirit will soar, and the story of your life will become a testimony of God's eternal goodness, mercy, and power, a story that will be remembered for generations, a story that will encourage millions to believe in the miraculous, to trust the unseen, and to live boldly in the fullness of God's promises. For the Lord is faithful, His word is true, and His Spirit is working mightily in you even now. And as you listen, reflect, act, and pray, may you experience the fullness of His glory in ways that will astound your heart, transform your life, and draw you ever closer to the God who loves you beyond measure. And this journey, though long, is worth every step, for the eternal harvest awaits, and all glory belongs to Him forever and ever. Beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to remind you that God has called each of us to a life of unshakable faith, relentless prayer, and divine purpose, for life is not measured by the absence of trials but by the strength of our trust in God even when the winds howl and the storms rage. And so I urge you to lift your eyes above the circumstances and fix them on the God who holds every tomorrow, the one who formed you, who knew you before you were born, and who has already written every chapter of your life with love and wisdom. And when you encounter mountains that seem too high, remember that faith is not the absence of fear but the courage to say, God, I trust you, even when the outcome is unseen. And prayer is not a fleeting wish but a force that moves heaven and earth, a connection that invites the Creator of all to work on your behalf. And as you pray with persistence, speak God's promises with conviction, and meditate on His word day and night, you will begin to see what once seemed impossible unfold before your eyes. For the same God who parted seas and healed the brokenhearted is active today, answering prayers, opening doors no man can shut, and restoring hope where despair once lived. And I tell you this, do not wait for perfect conditions, do not postpone obedience, do not allow doubt to overshadow the vision God has placed in your heart, For every step you take in obedience, even if it's small, releases God's supernatural power, and as you walk in faith, your life will become a testament of God's goodness, a light to those wandering in darkness, a source of encouragement to the weary, and a living proof that nothing is too hard for God. And so let your heart be steadfast, your spirit ablaze with gratitude, your words filled with praise, your actions aligned with heaven's purpose, and your faith unmovable, for in these things, you will see breakthroughs, miracles, healing, restoration, and the beautiful unfolding of God's perfect plan in your life. And all glory, honor, and praise be unto the Lord forever and ever.